Yeah, I think we're working now. That's good. That's good. Always have a panic whenever these things start that it's not working. So, yes, for those of you who don't know and we're expecting Lee, sorry, but you got me tonight. And we're talking about the new player designed content competition. And while we do that, I thought we would have a game. I'll see if we can get a game of fishing trawler going. Yeah, so come join me, 3World342, and we'll have a game of fishing trawler. On top of that as well, let's have a chat about player designed content competition. Now, you remember what we did? Remember what we did about October last year? We had a player designed content competition of which the agility one, which was pretty cool. So yeah, we're doing exactly the same thing again. So pretty much, you send in your ideas. We're going to be doing it specifically. Is the volume a bit quiet for you? I can make it louder. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. Let me know if it's too loud or not loud enough. Ah, my voice is too low. I could turn it all up. Is that sounding better? That sounding better. Hello, who's that? Lavar, how you doing? Lovely to meet you. I've got to remember what we need to take for this. We need some swamp paste, don't we? Is it swamp paste or swamp tar? I can't remember. No, not that, obviously. Yes, I'm in the fishing trawler clan chat. If anybody wants to join me, you feel free. I'll give rope, that's what I need. Hang on, I'll buy it from this chap. Oh man, it's been a while. It's been a while since I played this game. Here we go, I think we've got it all in here, haven't we? Anyway, yes, this play's sounding good. Fantastic. Cool, player design content competition then. You know what it's about. We're running it again. We're specifically doing non-combat related stuff this time. Question here from Got Them Skills. Does magic level affect your magic defense? Yes, it does. Oh dear, what should we have? What should we have? Make bank. Need to get free stuff. Need some bailing buckets as well. I don't need that many, do we? No, we only need one. If I remember rightly. Never mind, there we go. Right, so we're going to do this. The reason we are only doing a combat, a non-combat related, there we go, turn sound up again for you. The reason we're doing a non-combat related player designed content competition is because we've done so much combat stuff recently. We've done the Slayer stuff, we've got the Wilderness stuff going in. We've done these all sorts of bits and bobs, so we're going to specifically do non-combat related stuff, which will be pretty cool, which gives loads of scope to do anything. You know, we've got all the different skills to choose from and all sorts, so there's a shed load of stuff we have opportunity to do. Excuse me while I drink my hot chocolate with cream and marshmallows and stuff. Yes, well, you can shut up, can't you? Yes. Right. Are we all ready for those who want to play? Let's hope so. Yeah, I got this nice expensive mic. Someone's saying the mic's really fuzzy. I've got some nice expensive mic, and I can't get this hiss off it. No matter what I do, it fails miserably. Never mind. Never mind. Right, we ready? We're going to get some nice loot here from this. That's what we're going to do. Someone has said here, I heard you're releasing the bot banning system at 12 tonight. Actually, no, before we release any bot banning system, we will be talking to you about it first. We're not going to do it without talking to you first. You'll know exactly what's going on. And we'll take it from there, which is pretty cool. And somebody asking whether you can log into RS3 and 07 at the same time. Unfortunately, that is unlikely to ever happen. It means changing the way our whole system works, our authentication system or something along those lines. Yeah, we can't touch that. There we go. You can have my babies if you want. I've got plenty of them. I've got 3 of them upstairs. You can have them. I'll give them a good price as well. Oh man, I haven't played this in absolutely ages. I used to look after the P-mod team, and we used to do in-game surgeries with them where we'd meet them in-game and answer their questions in-game. But it all sort of, whenever we didn't have any questions, we went and played this instead. Hours of fun. Hours of fun. Oh man, look at this. Let's get rid of some of this water, shall we? We're failing. Empty bucket. There we go. So, GE. Matt, you're obsessed with boats and stuff. Yeah, boats are great. Loads of entertainment with boats. We're going to drown and die, I can tell. You're all rubbish. Look at this. Failing miserably here. So, do we have any questions about the player designed content? Do you understand what we're trying to do from it? Does it make sense why we're not doing a combat related one this time around? So please do ask for questions. One thing we're not going to do with this player design content is we're not going to use it to put in the Grand Exchange or anything along those lines. I think that's a much bigger conversation we need to have, and I think we'll worry about that after the wilderness is out, whatever the solution is to trading at that point. Oh, we're going to fail. Come on, guys, we need some people bailing. We're going to drown. Epic fail this is going to be. Look at that. Look at that. That's rubbish. Oh man, it's not a proper boat, is it? Right. Oh man, that's rubbish. It's rubbish. We did rubbish. How do we get back to it? I don't even know where I am anymore. We've got to go south, haven't we? Yeah. So where we are? Here we go. There we are. Ooh, floating in the air. Right, let's try again. Let's try again. Better luck this time. Can't do any worse than last time. Oh dear. Hero, you can make an unofficial straw poll about the GE if you like. You can make an unofficial straw poll about anything you like. That's absolutely fine. Let me know the results and I will tell them once we have finished here. Clan Wars, we're going to look at polling Clan Wars before too long. Don't you worry about that. But yeah, I mean, a lot of this we've had, before I left today, we had sort of more than 40 suggestions that had already been sent in, which you know is a huge amount of suggestions for the first sort of 3-4 hours of the player designed content competition, or as we want to call it, the brains over brawn. Oh, we're doing good, guys. We're doing good. Let's get it done. Yes. Get those holes plugged. Yes, them naughty holes. That needs a plug-in. Oh no, and now we're already in the... Oh, rubbish. We're rubbish. Ah, sweet. Somebody followed me on Twitter. Feel free, everybody, to come and follow me on Twitter. I know somebody got the net. Net is ripped. Wrong end for the net. Silly net fixing person. There we go. I got you back. I got you back. Again, it's unlikely that this competition will be looking at adding bank towers, mainly because right now we can't. And we will when we can do it, we will poll that separately, certainly. I think it's a great opportunity for, I mean, what I would like to see is something like, something to make fire making useful. Because as fun as it is to set things on fire, we could probably use a bit better use for it than what we currently have for it. And fire arrows, for example, that sort of thing will go down quite nicely. So ideas along those lines. What else could you do for fire making? I always like the idea of doing something with charcoal. So if you look back at medieval times, the charcoal, people who made charcoal were sort of highly revered in medieval communities. Charcoal was used for all sorts of things. So charcoal manufacturing, doing something with that, using it in potions and what have you would be quite cool. So that could tie into all sorts of weird and wonderful things. So that would be good. Oh, we're not going to fail again, are we? Oh, Mr. Rodenstein, Mr. Frankenstein, we fix. I'm going to run out of stuff soon. Bail that water. Spam the buckets. I can do that. Easy peasy. Will you release the Dragon Defender? Oh yeah, if you guys want it. I mean, we're all up for releasing that. I think it'll be quite a good bit of success there. If you've got ideas how you want it into game, if you want it a different way into game than normally, that is groovy too. Let's get a bailing. We will do this. I am bailing like a bad boy. There we go, Eero's posted up an unofficial straw poll on the Grand Exchange. He's put the link in the chat there. Feel free to vote, be interested to see what you guys have to say. Come on guys, 7 minutes. You guys get those. Someone's got 1,000 swamp tile. Will you get plugging those gaps then for you? GE was perfect. I don't know if the GE was perfect. I mean, there's a few people saying that it was. I would disagree with that. I think one of the problems we've got with the GE is it takes away that sort of person-to-person interaction, which I know you guys think is very important. There we go. Right, let's get these buckets done. Let's get more of these things done. I mean, we can make a GE where you don't lose that, and that you still have to trade person-to-person to do it. You can do practically anything we want, really. So whatever the best solution is for our game, let's not worry about what RS3's done, what other games do. Let's think about what's important for our game, and we'll do that, because that's the way it's going to work. That's why we want to keep it. G without price guides, exactly. That's what a lot of people have been saying. That I mean, I'd like the idea of an auction house where you can stick up any price you like. It only works when you're online as well, so it still keeps the fact you've got to interact, you've got to be there to do it, and you have to. Oh man, we suck big time. Yes, we do. This ain't right, is it? Oh, where are we going? This way. Yeah. We went too far, we never got there in time. No, we didn't. It's true. Oh man, no swamp tar left. Swamp paste. I wonder if this is it. No. Could be one word. Yes, right. How much swamp paste shall we have? Ah, there we go. I got enough swamp paste. I got the swamp paste going on. Yes, I does. Don't we steal other people's fish either? What kind of game is this? We've got thieving, haven't we? I don't need all those buckets. Let's drop some of these buckets. Buckets, buckets, buckets. Right, let's try again. Let's try again. Do. I don't need all these buckets. Let's get rid of those. Should have bought 10 really to start with, should I? I think I'm going to have to get Dan to add me a nice little thing to my rotten potato to drop all these buckets and things for you guys. So if we do this again, we can have plenty of stuff going around. Here we go. And we want ropes as well, don't we? Ropes 20. There we go. Ready to rock and roll. Will the corporeal beast be making its way, ever provided it has different drops? Well, one of the things we'll talk about today actually was transferring models over from RS3 to Old School. We have a model converter which allows us to move the actual model itself by the sound of things. I'm not exactly sure how it works. That would be a good question for next Thursday, in fact, with Ash and Dan, because they understand more how that works. But what we don't have is we don't have a way of moving the animations, so even if we could get the models into the game, there's no way to make them move around, which really doesn't help. So until we get an animation converter, then we're not going to be able to do that, or somebody who can make the animations, which is why we're still hunting down this artist. We will keep going. It's very difficult to find an artist that plays Old School, and that's one of the most important things, is that we have somebody who understands what you guys want. And unfortunately we can't find one yet. We're still looking, we'll continue looking, but we'd rather spend a good few months and get the right person than get the first person we can get our hands on and it not be right. So we will keep hunting for that artist, certainly. We don't have the tools, no, not for making, not for transporting animations, and we just don't have the skill within the team at the moment to make new animations. So we will get there though. We're hunting for somebody who can do that. That is the thing. But it's all cool. So how many of you guys have submitted an idea for the play design content yet? Like I said, we had 40 before I left today, and that was 4 hours ago. And I'm going to need to find, I'm going to go back in a second, so I need to find my power cable for my laptop because it's about to die. Give me a sec. Noob, forgot to plug in this power cable. Again. Haha, we have power. That's embarrassing. Oh, there we go. Oh dear. So, there we go. Yeah, interesting comment just come through the chat there. They told somebody to shut up because the GE was really important. Was more important. That's one of the things we've clearly got to look at for how we work. You know, what's the most important thing to you guys, and that is actually sort of how we have to sort of prioritise what we do, because we would love to do everything you guys want, but we just clearly haven't got the time for it. There's only 4 of us, and even if we work 24 hours a day, that's not enough time to deliver everything you want. So we have to prioritise what you guys want, and we will continue to do that. So although it's not a case of necessarily what we can and can't do, but what you guys think is important, that's what we try and do. We don't always get it right, but you know, we're getting better, and we'll continue to do that, which is cool. The power of Thor lies in the laptop charger. Yes, I think you're right, Hero. I think you're right. Will free-to-play ever be available for 07? It may be one day. We aren't looking at it yet because I mean, none of this is secret, and we've said it many times. We need to get the bots under control. We need to get the hijacking under control, the scamming under control, all the bits and bobs. Unfortunately, we're sort of a bit of victims of our own success, really, because we have lots of players who were never expecting to play, and because we're so successful and so much, and you guys love the game so much, we've sort of got to deal with that by proxy, as it were. So we're working towards it, though. You all know about the bot stuff we're working on. We've got some new technology that's being tested right now as we speak. Assuming it all works well and there's no big mistakes with it and it's completely doable, then we will roll that out as soon as we can. And fingers crossed we can get that done soon. But we'll talk to you before we do it, so you know what's happening, and we'll take it from there. So we're all up for a bit of backing botness. You will get bank tabs one day. I do not doubt that you will get bank tabs. We have to wait until we've got the right engine support to do it, which is not a trivial job. But once we do, then we will poll it for you. We certainly know you want it, and if you want it, we will poll it as soon as we can do it. And that's the key thing. We've got to be able to do it first, which we can't at the moment. Ash has put a lot of time into sort of trying different things to make it work. It's just not working right now. Duel tournaments, again, I'd love to do something with the dueling tournaments. That was great fun. But I think it'd be nice to tie that all into sort of a clan warsy type thing, to get tournaments going across all sorts of things going on there. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Off-site RuneScape gambling. Well, as long as there's nothing to if it's RuneScape gambling, you can't do it. It's against our terms and conditions, and most times it will be real world trading related, so yeah, don't do that. That's bad. Is the channel full? Chat channel we're in, I'm sure most of you know this, is the fishing trawler chat channel here. It does look pretty hot, pretty full, so that's what we're doing there. Can we get updated to achievement diaries again? That's something I'd love to do, as achievement diaries. Do all the achievement diaries at once. Do a wilderness achievement diary. Do Tutorial Island achievement diary. Send you back there, maybe. That would be quite fun. But yeah, I'd love to do achievement diaries. That would be great fun. We would have much fun with achievement diaries. Are we going to start a game here or not? We're just going to stand here and look pretty. Oh, we've got to drown again. Where do I get my clothes? I'm actually Professor Dr. Frankenstein. That's who I am at the moment. If you come upstairs, hang on, there's a way up. How do you submit content? If you've got ideas for a player-owned content competition, then all you need to do is email your idea to oldschoolcommunity@jagex.com, and we'll pick it up from there. Here we go. So I'm Professor Oddenstein, not Oddenstein, Frankenstein, Doctor, one or the other. I could be either or. Yeah, I'm a bit on the tall side, aren't I? Yeah. That's going to break something. Come on, we can start a game or what? Got to wait, be patient. Too many fishing trips going on. Do you feel that having a small crew working on OSRS keeps the content slower, making it more methodical decision making, ensuring updates are quality? I don't think it keeps it slower. I mean, you've seen the speed we've delivered content on. You know, some of the stuff we've done has been huge. What it has allowed us to do is it allows us to make decisions much more quickly. So if you think about having sort of a team of 4 people, we can sit together, we can say, is this a problem? Yes, no. How do we solve it? Blah, blah, blah. We come to a solution. That's done in a matter of minutes. If you think about how a big team works. So you'll have a team of 100 people. There'll be different teams within that team dedicated to different things. For example, for retaining players, there'll be some for gaining new players, and you need a management team to manage the teams and management within each of the teams. And then you've got to get so many people together to make this decision that you usually have to wait a week before you can all get in the same room anyway to talk about it. And then you don't have the answers because not everybody in the team's there in the same place. So you have to go away, get the answers, come back, and before the decision's even made that something needs to be done, you've wasted 2 weeks. We don't have to worry about that because we can stand up. So we all sit right next to each other. We can stand up and say, right, here's a problem. What's the solution? Blah blah blah. Can we get it done? Yes, we'll get it done for the next update. Bang, done. So we can do that with every single problem that comes up. And again, you can see it in the Q&As that we do. You guys ask a question, we've got an answer sitting there for you because we make all the decisions around the game, and we are very well. We're a very good, a very close team that knows what we think and knows, and we've covered most of these questions already. So it's oh, here we go, we're off. Yes, come on, we can't fail this time. What kind of content are you looking at? There's a question there from Escorges. I'm looking for something I haven't thought of, I suppose, is the key thing. Because we all have our ideas, and you guys all have your ideas of what's great, and I'd love to see something that we haven't thought of, haven't seen put on the forums, haven't seen mentioned anywhere. And like I said, I'd love to see a great idea for fire making. Ah, look at that, pro, that's nice. But yeah, something to get rid of fire making. I can't get rid of the water yet. There's not enough water in here. Get filled. Get these things filled. That's it. Randomly click on stuff, it might do something. Yes, that's it. Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this one. We're pro. Yes, we are. 190 fish collected already. When. Yeah, so brand new ideas. I'd love to see something for fire making to make that really more exciting. Mining as well. I've always had an idea for a mining mini game, and we've already had one come in already, which looks quite good. So that sort of thing would be quite cool. But brand new content I've never seen before. I would love to get some good ideas for that. Look at this. We're pro at this. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Bonk. We know what we're doing. There we go. Look at this. Check it out. Check it out. We win at this. Yeah, so the more surprising, more innovative, more brand new ideas are the ones that are going to get through. Like I said before, we've done a lot of combat updates, so we're not going to be looking for any combat updates or any combat suggestions. So, the way to look at that is if any combat is needed to complete the content that you want to put in game, then we're not going to look at it. However, it can benefit content. So, for example, smithing, a new skill of thiffing. Smithing, you may well want to make some new weapons, or have a mini game which gives you, I don't know, the augury prayers or something, which will obviously help in combat. But because you're not using combat to get hold of those things, that's quite acceptable. Ah dear, that's pretty cool. Oh, I'm loving this. Loving this. I'll have to come on my tube next time and get a decent fish. Yes, we will. No, my toes are wet. I'm wearing sandals as well. That sucks. Menageries? Oh yeah, absolutely. I think we need some pets in there first though, because we've only got what? A cat and a clockwork mouse or something, haven't we? Okay, let's have a look. Auto-typing. Mr. Ampeg, who keeps auto-typing. If you turn it off, I'll answer your question. There we go. 688 fish, that's not bad going, is it? I need the email where you send the ideas. That's from Matty Hay. If you want to send ideas for the player design content competition, send it to oldschoolcommunity@jagex.com and it'll come straight through to me, so that'd be fantastic. Oh, thank you. Whatever your name was, I can't remember. He was asking, what's our stance on auto-typers? Okay, so auto-typers, you all know what they are. You all know that they're against the rules. But that leads us to the question of what we do with people who are using them. Now, should people be using them for bad things such as spamming, gold selling websites or hijacking websites, hack sites, that sort of thing? Obviously we'll come down on them like a ton of bricks and they will find they won't be able to speak ever again, which is what I would hope you'd expect us to do. Now the other thing we've got is auto-typers being used to trade, for example. We know what World 1's like, we know what busy areas are like, we know why you guys use auto-typers, we know why you spam. And I don't think the solution to that is to start banning players for doing it or muting players for doing it. I don't think that's going to solve the problem at all. The solution to that, I think, is solving the reasons why you guys are spamming. A lot of that will come with the discussions that we'll have on the solutions to the trade problems you're facing. I think whatever we come up with that needs to look at why you guys are spamming. My favourite solution for it is to give you all an auto-typer. We'll make an auto-typer for you, we'll give it to you all. And then what we will allow everybody to do is to have a little tick box where you can just ignore chat coming from that auto-typer. So with one little click of a button, any auto-typed chat will just disappear. So we're not spamming anybody else. You guys can use it, and if people want to find stuff or want to see what auto-typers are saying, then yes, you can do that, but you have the option with one click of a button to remove all the auto-typing from the game, so you guys don't see it, therefore it ceases to become a problem to the majority of you. Once that's combined with whatever the solution is for the trade system, then I think we will effectively take away the annoyingness of auto-typers. Yeah, the other thing we'll have to do at the same time is we'll have to really up the anti-spam filter in the busy areas so people don't continue to use auto-typers that we don't supply you with, so at least you know it's going to be safe and secure and we're able to monitor that it is coming from an auto-typer and all that sort of stuff. And so we'll up those anti-spam rates, but we'll allow our auto-typer to not be bound by it. And I think that should just encourage everybody to use our auto-typers, and we will take it from there. But that's a solution which seems to make sense for me. I've played other games where they do exactly that and it seems to work, so you know, I think that's probably the best thing. But I don't like the idea of sort of muting people and banning people who are using it to trade and competing with the other auto-typers. I mean, the only caveat to that is don't get your accounts hijacked and download the wrong one, because you know that's not a cool thing to do, so be very careful. But you know, we know people use it. I don't think banning people for it's the right way to go about solving it. Look at that, loads of fish. Who's ever seen fish this high before, eh? 1,535 fish. That's pretty good for fish. What else we got? Maybe we should do something about the bots, says somebody whose name I can't see there. Is it 13x3x3i? Now, if you'd been paying attention earlier, I mentioned that we've got some new bot software that's we're testing right now, and I'm hoping that if that all goes to plan, then you will see a marked difference in the amounts of bots. We will talk to you more about it as we get closer to the time, when we know the test is good, but we want to get that out as soon as possible because we know you guys hate bots, we don't like bots, and we want to make your game bot free as possible. So fingers crossed we will make a difference for you there. So we are doing stuff about bots, but we're not going to put any new system in place until until we know that it works, because if we roll it out en masse right now, then suddenly things may suddenly break, and that would not help anybody at all, which would make everybody sad, and we don't like sad people. Filter game chat option, yes, yeah, we're well, I think we got the ability to do that now. I know it's being worked on. I can't remember if it's actually delivered or not. Be a great question for Ash again on Thursday. That would, he knows the insides and outsides of that. I just say nay to gambling, indeed. Indeed, we're doing really well here, guys. This is the pro way of doing it. Yes, it is. Good job, everybody. I think we can all go have a cup of tea and win. All I do is win, win, win. Oh yeah. There we go. Where is the GE pole? There is no GE pole. When there's a GE pole, you won't be able to move for the fact we're telling you there's a GE pole, or whatever the trading solution is. And we've got to get away from calling it GE, because I don't think that's what we're going to end up with, because I don't think that's what's right for you guys. Doing good, guys, doing good. Oh, nearly 2,000 fish. Nearly 2,000 fish, that's pretty hot. Do you answer all the emails about the new content ideas? No, unfortunately we can't answer them all, creative, because like I said, we had 40 in the first few hours, so you can imagine how many hundreds we'll have by the time we're finished. What we do is we read them all. We will read every single one of them, and any good ideas, even if they don't get into the final ones you're going to vote on, we will steal the good ideas. We won't steal them, we'll appropriate them properly, and we will use them if we think they're going to be good for the game, and we will happily poll some of the stuff out. So even if you don't get chosen for the finals, voting on the best ideas, we may well take your ideas and use them anyway. Equally, we may well, if you do get into the top 3 and one of them doesn't get through, we may well poll some of the other ones as well separately, because there may be really good stuff for the game. So it all depends on what we get. We're not going to not do some of the ideas we get just because we have to choose one. If we get loads of really good ideas, we will do as many as we can. That's the entire point of what this is about. Get some great ideas from you guys, making sure you guys know that you're that much in control of the game that you're able to be in control and get your ideas in game. I think it's one of the best things we did. The last player design content competition was absolutely fabulous for that. I think a load of you guys really enjoyed being able to see a player who came up with an idea and their idea went into game, and we were happy enough to say, yes, that is right, these people should have his name in game, even though we did spam you with his name a bit too much perhaps. I don't think we'll do it quite that way again. But yeah. There we go. This mini game is Fishing Trawler. It's probably one of the most fun mini games out there. I really enjoy this mini game. I think the only reason why it's not as popular as it could be is because the rewards aren't great for it. There's not a huge amount of XP for it. There's not wonderful rewards you can get, which would be nice to address that at some stage. You can ask a question if you want. Galebeski, Eskai, Galebeski, whatever your name is. There we go. Why no dragon claws? Well, it's not up to us about whether you get dragon claws or not. But I don't think the community would vote in dragon claws in the state it was when it first was introduced into RS3. I don't know if the community changes its mind, then sure, but I don't think it will, in all honesty, change its mind on that anytime soon. and we're not about to poll something which we expect to fail a poll, because it makes no sense to anybody. If we poll Dragon Claws once and it fails, quite considerably, then it's very difficult to poll it again should you decide that you do want it. So it's all about, a lot of it is about timing as well, making sure we're polling the right things at the right time, so we've got the best chance of getting through for you guys. If you want to ask about your account, you can email accounthelp@jagex.com and they will get back to you. Does the Old School team have their own castle? No, not quite. Not quite. I think we should. Maybe I'll put that in a request in the next sort of stakeholder meeting. I'll say we need a castle. What castle would we want? I don't know. I would want Beaver Castle, which is up in Nottingham. It's a very pretty castle, spelled B-E-L-V-O-I-B-O-I-R. That's a really cool castle. So yeah, I would like that one. That's my castle of choice. Item lending, it's doable. Item lending, I believe. Again, that's another great question for Ash, because he's knows a lot about that. So again, ask that again on Thursday, certainly. Before the Q&A on Thursday that we always do, we also put out a load of. You can also tweet me the questions, and I pull a load of questions from Twitter, which we ask in the stream as well. So feel free to do that. Lord Mackay Castle, yeah. Last castle we went to see was what was the last castle we went to see? It was with my brother. Kenilworth Castle, that was it. Yeah, I went with my brother to see Kenilworth Castle because he lives nearby, and that was a proper ruined British castle. But when I first joined Jagex, about sort of a year afterwards, we all went out on a company-wide outing to Warwick Castle. We had great fun. That was they put a load of people fighting in swords and shields and stuff on, so we could see these people battling the Black Knights and what have you. It was quite entertaining. That was a good night out. That was fun. Doing a good job here, guys. Doing a good job. Fantastic work, everyone. Working as a team. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. So he has an awesome idea about a wheel where you can buy spins with real money. I think that's a fantastic idea. Damn, I wish I'd thought of that one. That'd be a great idea. What are the questions we got? Rollback characters from EOC 207 for an extremely annoying having screen size. Yes, the screen size is probably the biggest downfall of the game. I think it's was designed initially, obviously, to be very easy for every computer to play, and to some extent that's why some people play this, because RS3 isn't necessarily as low spec as Old School is. But unfortunately, making this screen a different size is something which is almost impossible for us to do, so I'm afraid we're going to be stuck with it. Last time we did it, I think we had the entire development team, 100 developers working for 12 months to make it happen, and we've got 2 developers, so from 100 years of development time, using 2 developers is going to take easily 50 years. Even if they work twice as hard as every other developer did, that's still 25 years to make it happen, and no other updates happening in that time. So yeah, unfortunately I think we're not going to see that one ever happen, I am afraid. Soz and all that, but the small screen's part of the charm of Old School. It's what RuneScape was in 2007, and you see the screen and I think everybody and their mum knows what game it belongs to. Get rid of this water. Get rid of this water. New undead Slayer monster. Oh yes, that new Slayer monster would be great if it was an undead one. That would be fantastic. I do like undead. stuff. Oh no, fish again. Who we got here? Zidzad says, I think we should focus on PvP and combat rather than non-combat stuff, which obviously referring to the player design content competition there. You know, I think, you know, to some extent you're right. There's a huge amount of players that like PvP and combat, and you know, it's one of the reasons a lot of people play, but we can't ignore the people who like the skilling aspect as well, and they are out there. I think the PvPers and the combat players, there's more of them out there, but we can't ignore everybody. You know, we can't do an update only to target a specific group, or we'll lose the smaller group. If there were no skillers out there, where would the PvPers get their resources and items from? You know, where are you going to buy your shark, where are you going to get your potions? So the skillers are an essential part of the game, and you know, we have to give attention to them as well. So it's a bit of a balancing act at times, but I think it's the right thing to do, and a nice bit of skilling content coming from directly from a specific player will be a great way of putting some more skilling content in game. I'm going to tell the skillers to go back to EOC. Some people like to skill properly. Yeah, good. What's it? Good WinRS has made a very valid point. He says he can mess around with his resolution on his desktop to get the screen size he wants, which is another way of doing it. Certainly, not everybody is comfortable with that, but you know, if you are, that is another way of making the screen bigger. Almost at 1,000 fish. A minute to go. Yeah, we're on it. We're on it. Get rid of this last bit of water. There we go. We win. Kisp says, have you addressed the DDoS issue with Infinity? Now, from what I understand, the issue is that there's a scam going around where players are getting kicked offline. They're using the Zybez price checker to, or Zybez trading system to get some, to organise a trade with somebody. When they're teleported somewhere, they're getting kicked out of the game, and NPCs being lured onto them to kill them. And obviously the person who lured the NPC gets all their items, which sucks. Obviously the DDoSing isn't something we can do anything about, because it's not coming from us. By the sound of it, they're getting the IP of these players from somewhere else. I know Zybez in particular and the clan community are very close knit, so you know, it's always a risk, especially using things such as Skype and IRC as well, that IP addresses will get out. Sadly, there's not a lot we can do with that, because it's not going through our system, so we can't check it. Best thing to do is to contact your ISP, get them to change your IP address. A lot of them change regularly anyway. You probably need to be quite forceful with your ISP, because they're not overly interested in changing your IP address. In fact, I had to have an argument with my ISP at one point about it, and then when I told them to cancel the contract, I got free internet for a year, so and a new IP number. So job's a good one, really. Complain, it's a good thing to do. Why not delete some worlds to boost population on other worlds, asks Asbo Buzz. Very good reason for that. Not everybody wants that, that's the thing. If people want a busy world, then they generally go to a busy world. They'll go to 301, 302, 330 and you know, some of the others. But if people want a quiet world, they go to a quiet world. If we start deleting worlds, we take away the option for people to find a quiet world. So you know, keeping the same amount of worlds gives people that option. We did poll this as well poll before last, and it didn't pass, and it was quite some way off as well, so about removing 10 worlds. So yeah, if you want a busy world, then you know where to go to get a busy world. Is this a contest? Are there rewards? That's again referring to the player design content competition. The reward is to see your content in game. You will obviously get credited for it as well, so you will have your account name in game. You'll see your content in game. You will be, you know, a part of old school history and lore. I mean, I would imagine that most of you know who Big Red Japan is, and you know, he's the first winner of the player design content competition and got his agility in game. But I think that's a pretty big reward in itself, is to find your idea in game, made by us, and I think that's, you know, it's the best thing we can do for the community as a whole, really. Can't even give you spins anymore. No, can't even do that. Rollback characters from EOC to 07. Now I'm assuming you mean so you don't have to level up your account again. The problem with that is, you know, we have 150, 160 and whatever amount of thousands of players. If we were to, all the players that currently play and have all leveled up their accounts to their level from scratch, and if we started to allow people to move their stats around or come in on anything but, you know, a brand new account, we would upset those players, every single one of them, and that is not fair on those guys. So that is unlikely to ever happen, I'm afraid. How big of a document do you want? We've got to remember that what's going to happen is what you send us will get pitched to the players when it comes to vote for their favourite idea. So it's not necessarily about size, but the best pitch you can put together. It's not about size, but what you do with it. Yes, indeed. So you've got to remember, you're not pitching to us, you're pitching to the players. You're going to pitch to the community. That is what is going to basically make you win or not. So that's what you've got to send us. A nice document with lots of pictures is usually a good one, which will get the excitement of the players going, so they'll vote for your idea. Check it out. Can I team up with your mates? Yeah, if you want, you go for it. If there's a consortium of people have ideas, then yeah, you knock yourself out. Send them in from all of you. We'll credit every single one of you. I'm more than happy to do that. Will RS3 Legacy mode support resizable mode? Now, Legacy mode is a mode that is in RS3, so whatever RS3 supports, it will support that. It's a game, not a separate game to RS3. It is part of RuneScape 3, and it is going to be a different way of combat than it currently has. Double XP weekend, not in Old School, I'm afraid. Now I believe, as there's so many people watching, I might get this wrong, but I vaguely remember seeing an email today that said the double XP in RS3 stacks with the refer a friend XP boost as well. So feel free to abuse that in RS3. You're more than welcome to do that. In Old School, we did play with the idea of having a half XP weekend, so you only get half the amount of XP. That would be more popular than double XP anyway. So who knows? We're not going to be doing a double XP in Old School, I'm afraid, or double drops, or any of that thing. Oh dear. What is the max GP amount? 2,147,000,000 and some spare change. Wilderness worm. Yeah, we could do wilderness worm type thing. I've done lots of the wilderness for the time being, so I think we'll probably keep the wilderness alone for a little while. But yeah, always up for good ideas. The wilderness worm was a bit of fun. Mind you, saying that, when we did a lot of the investigations, the wilderness updates, and sort of finding out what people wanted, the wilderness worm wasn't mentioned very much at all, which is why we didn't put an idea in for it. But we've got 6 new bosses going into the wilderness, so that should keep you occupied for a little bit. So Anubis says, I'm sad that Pures are being oppressed in 07. Yeah, it's one of the things we mentioned quite considerably is, you know, what can we do for Pures to make them better? Give them a bit of love, because there are a lot of Pures and it's an important part of gameplay for a lot of players. The problem is anything Pure related tends to fail the poll, which makes it really difficult, you know, to make updates for Pures. We were talking about exactly the same thing today when we were looking at locking XP, locking skills, so that you don't accidentally get XP in defense and that sort of stuff. But you know, it's going to be very careful, because it is unlikely to pass a poll, because a lot of the community don't like Pures, and I don't quite understand why, but there we go. People are entitled to their opinions, and that is the way it is, unfortunately. Bring back meteors. Yeah, if you want, I can bring back meteors, if that's what players want. Rector asks, you said God Wars, Clan Wars will be polled soon, do you know when? I would expect to see a poll for it. I mean, I can't say for absolute sure, because obviously we have to react to what you guys want. I would expect it to be polled before June. Yeah, there we go. Any questions coming through on Twitch? I'll look over the other side of the room. Don't you think staying alive is more important than bots? I don't quite know what you mean. Staying alive is probably one of the most important things you can do, I guess. Add evil trees. If the players want evil trees, we'll add evil trees. There doesn't seem to be a huge demand for that. In fact, most distractions and diversions have been not very well received. In fact, we did poll an idea for, I can't remember what it was for now, but for something which had a weekly task you could do to get extra XP, and that didn't go down at all well. So distractions and diversion stuff is not really that excitable for an awful lot of our players, which is a bit of a shame. Discuss how legacy mode. My teeth in. Discuss how legacy mode may ruin old school. I don't think it will at all. I think there's so much more to old school than just combat system. That there's still too many differences for it to tempt old school players out of old school. I think a lot of you guys have made this your home. You like the way it works. You like the interaction you get. You like the whole pretext of you guys being able to decide what happens, being in control of what's going on. So I don't think we're going to see any great, huge difference at the end of the day. A few people may disappear over, but I don't think we'll see very many at all. Not so that anybody would notice. And we will, yeah, I don't think you've got anything to worry about. Nothing to worry about. Bounty Hunter Worlds, we want to use the Bounty Hunter mechanics, certainly. Dan's got some good ideas for what he wants to do with it, and he will happily, yay, we win again! He'll happily talk to you about it in the next live stream. And I think on that note, it's 10:05. And I will call it a night. I'll be streaming again at 9 o'clock on Wednesday. Feel free to come and join me then. And also we have on Thursday at 5 o'clock the Old School Q&A with Ash and Dan and John as well. So come and join us all then. And on Friday we have a 24-hour live stream from Jagex, which is featuring a load of real RS3 stuff and some old school stuff as well. I will let you know when that's all happening, so you can come and watch us then. Basically we're doing it for a charity, and there's more news of that coming up soon. See you all on Wednesday night. Be cool and have fun and stuff. Take care. Bye bye.